Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music. Thank you for hanging out again, clicking on that video. Oh my God, I appreciate it so much. I really, really do. I'm going to do a little funky device for you guys. I hadn't done something like this in a long time. I was just this thing called the NAMM show where I got to meet a bunch of viewers. Multiple times people were asking me for some more funky rhythm ideas, so I'm happy to do it. Also, thanks for all the support. I've got tons of courses at martymusic.com. Got a link for all kinds of stuff below. Any support at all is greatly appreciated. So thank you. All right, let's get to it. All right, Funketeers. Think of this as an E funk, which the difference between like a funk groove in E and a blues groove in E, they're almost identical. It's the feel that's different. So just know that this can work in a blues setting or a funky setting. They can be interspersed. So we're going to start with an E9 chord, which is a classic blues and funk chord. You know, it was like a swing blues groove, but same chord. E9 chord, the 7th fret A string, and then 6th fret D string, and then ring finger comes across that 7th fret of the G, B, and high E. And so for funky stuff, it's not the only concept, but one of the first concepts of funk is you've got a groove, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're gonna go stroke, but actually with the strings, like a 16th note groove. You know, and having a feel for the accents. But really, I'm just going 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, you know, I'm kind of swinging it, I guess is what you would say. So then what you do is you form, and you just do it a lot, right? Don't avoid it. You just want to do this, and you will get better as you do it, repetitions. So take that 9 chord, but then just relax your fingers, and you get that. And then practice just squeezing down real quick for some staccato notes to ring out. So get used to feeling what it feels like to get the percussiveness and feel what it feels like when you squeeze down. So you got that first feel with the right hand, and have that, try and get that second nature, and then you're squeezing accents with the hand. Jun, 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 and just as one rhythmic example. So watch what happens if I just hold the chord down and I do that right hand. And that's what it sounds like. Here's what it is completely muted. And then here's what it's like with some real quick squeeze staccato accents. So you just want to keep working on that. But now let's look at a couple of steps to take after that. So if you were watching that and you're like, yeah, I got that. So here's something that you can do, and especially in the key of E. But any time with this 9 chord, you've always got the pinky a whole step up on that high E. And that's called the, instead of E9, you would call that E13. Check it out, the scale it comes from. If I were to start at that root right there and climb up to 13, it would be that note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And why is this called 9? Well, it's an E7 chord with the 9 color, the 9 extension added to it, which is right here. E7 with the 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 13. Oh, that's right at my breaking point. Okay, so you've got that. So with the classic kind of James Brown. Just like that. A next, a little more advanced thing is thinking of this little piece of the minor pentatonic with the chord. So you'd have 5/7 on the E, and then 5/7 on the A, and then 5/7 on the D. And the root is there on the A string. Lots of muting going on with my left hand. You notice how I strummed all 6 strings, but my index finger was muting everything but the A string. So the tip of it was muting the E and the rest. So da-na-na-na, just like 5/7 on the A, because that's the root. And then you get little pieces of that blues scale. And remember, right hand. Yeah, it's like a drummer. Okay, so now as we advance, the A string is a really good spot to choke back, way back. Right back at the very back of the bridge. Lots of meat with your thumb and index finger, like almost like what you would call pinch harmonic, but we're not going for the harmonic. Like that way back crispy sound. So I'm muting also with my index. So that adds a lot of funky texture. Now, one other thing to make it a little bit like a little bit more of that blues major sound in there, you hammer on the major third of the chord, which is that note right there, the 6th fret of the D string. So check out this little move, and you can get that little technique if you can. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my one of just, a little funk vocabulary there. So I'm going hammer from 5 to 6 on the D, and then the root there, that, and then a whole step down, which is called the 7 in the relationship of the chord. Another good one is that classic slide from 7 to 9 to 5. And you can even give it a little tug. It's almost to that major third. I mean, you could do it with the major third, or with the kind of in between. There's also a classic funk approach with two guitars, where one guitar sticks to that kind of, and then the other one's doing some, and you combine them together. Two guitar player approach, but with one guitar you can do it. You can figure stuff out. So those are some great tips. Now I have a little bass line with a percussive groove, and I'll just play over it. Now I'm gonna loop that piece, then play more of a chucky rhythm over it. Here we go. All right, now here we go. I hope you guys had fun with that. Once again, Marty Music is what I do, and I appreciate the support. So you can like the video, subscribe, click the bell notification. Feel free to, let me know what you'd like to see in the comments. I'm always looking, and it helps guide what I do. So thank you for that, and I just can't wait to see you again. So see you then.